Alexandra Eala says what her family would never let her do that's just like Rafael Nadal. Alexandra Eala remains one of the outstanding exports from Rafael Nadal's famed academy, having shot to fame during her sensational 2025 season. There, she reached the semifinals of a Masters 1000 event, appeared in and won her first ever Grand Slam main draw match, and reached a tour-level final too. Naturally, the legendary Spaniard was keen to outline his pride every step of the way. Nadal even practiced with Eala last year, seeking to impart his wisdom on the youngster who is seemingly creating history at every turn. And there are growing similarities between these two that extend far beyond their smooth left-handed game styles. How Alexandra Eala is just like Rafael Nadal. Speaking to the ASB Classic just before she lost to Wang Xinyu in the semifinals, the 20-year-old spoke about how she had been visiting New Zealand with her family. Alexandra Eala admitted, "This is the first time all of us have been in New Zealand, so it's nice. The atmosphere is great. Obviously, a big Filipino community. I like the place, it's very calm, very clean." When asked about her family, Eala then used it as an opportunity to explain how she was raised to control her emotions, adding, "Smashing a racket is a big no-no in my family. And if that happened, you'd probably never see me on court again." Interestingly, Nadal went his entire career without breaking a single racket, having spoken about this decision at length. He explained why back in 2020, "My family wouldn't have allowed me to break a racket. For me, to break a racket it would be to lose control of my emotions." It seems there are alarming similarities between what Eala said and how her idol was brought up too. Alexandra Eala impressed at the ASB Classic. Whilst she was sadly beaten in the semifinals of the ASB Classic, despite bringing up a match point, Eala should still leave Auckland full of confidence. After all, she kickstarted her new campaign with a string of solid wins against top opponents, including a straight-sets victory against Magda Linette. It marks the continuation of her form from 2025, which shot her to fame. The hope is that we will only see continued growth from this Filipino superstar in the coming months too. Set to star at the Australian Open, before potentially heading back to the Philippines for her home tournament, the next few weeks could be crucial for Eala to build a strong foundation for a phenomenal year on tour. Title: Bound by Love, Driven by Passion, Alexandra Eala and the Nadal Parallel. In the world of professional tennis, talent alone is never enough. It requires discipline, focus, and a careful balance between ambition and the boundaries set by those who love you most. For Alexandra Eala, the rising star from the Philippines, these boundaries were both a shield and a guide, shaped most firmly by her family. She often recalls, with a mix of humor and admiration, that there were things she would never be allowed to do, things that could distract her, or worse, derail her journey. And in that sense, her path mirrors the legendary Rafael Nadal, whose own upbringing was rooted in the protective embrace of family and tradition. Alexandra grew up in Manila, a city vibrant with energy, opportunity, and distractions. From an early age, her life revolved around the tennis court. But outside those courts, she was just like any other child, curious, playful, and eager to explore the world. However, unlike most children, her curiosity had boundaries. Her parents, fully aware of the demands of professional tennis, set clear rules. Late-night parties? Absolutely not. Excessive social media scrolling? Not allowed. Even simple things, like wandering off with friends for hours, were carefully monitored. She remembers a particular moment when she wanted to attend a popular teen music festival. Her friends had already bought their tickets, their excitement palpable. Alexandra asked her parents, hopeful, that maybe this once she could join them. But her parents shook their heads gently. "Your focus is your future," her mother said. "Enjoy this when your time on court allows it." At first, Alexandra was disappointed. She wanted to be like everyone else, to live the normal life of a teenager. But gradually, she began to see the method in the restriction. The time saved, the energy preserved, and the focus honed were slowly transforming her into an athlete capable of achieving feats beyond ordinary comprehension. She began to understand that her family's "no" was not a punishment, it was a strategy, a shield against the chaos of distraction. Rafael Nadal's story is remarkably similar. Born in Mallorca, Spain, Nadal grew up under the watchful eyes of his uncle and coach, Toni Nadal, who was as much a guardian as a mentor. Nadal has often spoken about the strict rules of his childhood. No late nights, no frivolous distractions, no shortcuts. He was allowed to play, to compete, to experience the world, but always within the structured guidance of his family. Like Alexandra, he was protected from choices that could compromise his focus. This is not mere coincidence, it is a pattern seen in champions. Alexandra herself has acknowledged the similarity. In an interview, she once smiled and said, "There are things my family would never let me do, and I think that's just like Rafael Nadal. He had limits, and so do I, but it doesn't feel like limits. It feels like support." That single statement encapsulates a profound truth about elite athletes. Their boundaries are not shackles, but springboards. One of the things Alexandra's family would never allow her to do was sacrifice sleep for social events. In a world dominated by instant gratification, this rule might seem trivial, but for a professional athlete, sleep is sacred. Alexandra's routine is a testament to this discipline. She wakes early, trains with intense focus, eats according to a strict regimen, and ensures that she rests adequately. She confesses that sometimes she envies her peers who can stay out late, scroll endlessly through social media, or binge-watch shows. Yet she also knows that her sacrifices today are the foundation of her triumphs tomorrow. Another restriction was travel without purpose. While friends could wander aimlessly or take spontaneous trips, Alexandra's travel was deliberate, usually tied to training, competition, or family-approved experiences. At first, she rebelled in small ways, asking to visit a nearby city with friends, sneaking little excursions. But soon, the lessons embedded by her family became clear. Travel for her was not about aimless fun. It was about growth, exposure, and learning. In this, she mirrors Nadal, who traveled extensively as a child for tournaments but always under a tightly controlled schedule and with his uncle's guidance. Even diet was non-negotiable. Alexandra's family enforced strict nutritional rules, ensuring her body was optimized for performance. Treats and indulgences were rare, reserved for special moments. This discipline mirrors Nadal's approach, known for his meticulous attention to fitness and nutrition. For both athletes, food is not mere sustenance. It is fuel, a critical component of longevity in a career that demands relentless physical output. Perhaps the most symbolic restriction, however, was on distractions of the mind. Alexandra's parents often reminded her, "Your mind is your most powerful weapon. Guard it." They encouraged reading, mindfulness, and mental